I never really talk about my religious beliefs at all because I don't think you have to be religious to enjoy, stuff I put on here. But I'm Catholic, and I don't profess to have the correct belief system on any of this stuff. It's just that to me, the God I believe in is benevolent, um, and values human life. And I guess that's a big reason why I'm so opposed to siding with a lot of corporations, because by their very definition, they're there to make money for themselves. And in the absence of strong regulations that are, again, meant to protect the people, that are imposed usually by third parties like local or the federal government, officials, you're going to see them treat the people that work for them like garbage. Um, an example of that, of course, is just the stuff my job is doing to me now, right, with the one shift a week, two shifts a week, and how when I first started working there it was not like that. Um and I say that as, like, I can't imagine a benevolent God looks at a company where they always will say they can't give you more hours, or they'll have some, like, nonsensical excuse. But I don't see where a benevolent God would look at the managers of a company, or rather of a restaurant, making 3 grand a month, but then the people that work under them can't even make a quarter of that. Like, I don't think God looks at that and says this is good, this is how things should be. If we go over to a lot of the ways that people act in terms of relationships, um I don't think the way people are treated I don't think the ways people are treated, rather, by their contemporaries is good either. I mean, I go online sometimes and I'll see where, like, for example, someone will pass away, and there will be, this is someone that, these people have never met personally, and they will be in the comment section cheering and celebrating as if, some dictator or tyrant has been, unseated from humanity. Uh and again, those are the types of things where I can't imagine God looks at that and says that's all right. Now, with some examples like that CEO, the one out in New York, that's a situation where, again, I don't believe a benevolent religious figure is going to be happy or want people to be celebrating that. But at the same time, he's well aware of why people are celebrating, because of our garbage, for-profit healthcare system. And it is it's basically two wrongs don't make a right, but he understands the nuances of the situation enough to not be as critical of the people celebrating, right, that someone passed away, as the person who is causing multiple people to pass away by denying them healthcare coverage. Just that again, I believe in the nuanced God, the one who, maybe doesn't like me calling somebody a name, or doesn't like me, uh I don't smoke, but just people smoking, drinking, but gets that these vices are part of just dealing with the contemporaries of society, right? Having these problems and issues that are going on day to day. And again, I'm not trying to impose. I never attempt to impose my religious beliefs on people. My friend is not. I wouldn't call him atheist, but he's just kind of like not really leaning in one direction or another. I'd say unaffiliated. Um, so I don't try to tell anybody what they can believe in. It's not. I've never felt it was my place. I've never. It's just not there. There are certain things where, if I think it's important for people to know about it, I will attempt to convey the information. But in terms of believing that someone needs to adopt my worldview, or religious belief, like, they have a lot to do with each other. But I think a person can generally believe that in the richest country in the world, most people that live here should not be poor or unable to afford $1,000 emergency, right? I think you can look at that as a person who's secular and go, yeah, that's not too cool. That's kind of screwed up. And I guess that's why I try to downplay it more often than not, just kind of to broaden my appeal, and bring it up and people won't get offended. Uh, but it's just not something that really ever has come up as a thing to which I would sit there and debate someone on. Because there are so many important issues just in the United States alone, right? With these, whether we're talking about wage increases or healthcare or, you know, foreign policy, just these different things. And religion is such a, like, I get where it's important to other people. And I guess I would say mine's to an extent is important to me. But as long as I don't believe someone is being intolerant of my beliefs, which I would largely say they have not been, um, I don't see much of a point to discussing it or talking about it without feeling like I'm kind of indirectly making it a bigger deal than it is. But no, I don't bemoan anyone who doesn't believe what I believe, and I do think religion can be very helpful in terms of setting, like a moral standard. Like it's wrong that so many people in the US are downtrodden, and then, the poor get poorer, the rich get richer. Um that is the one thing I like about at least my religious beliefs, that I believe there is a benevolent God who looks at that stuff and is disgusted and thinks that things should be done, within legal, non-violent manners, for the, that is, to correct those issues or problems.